My name is Tom Lake. I'm a retired police officer from the city of St. Louis. I was injured in the line of duty while performing my job as a police officer. I was ambushed by a man who shot me twice in the face from point-blank range while I was sitting in my car at a stoplight.
2250, officer down, answer for us, start EMS now! Deadshot cars, we've got an officer down. We're going to need cars to shut down the rock for the hospital.
St. Louis Police Sergeant Tom Lake, who was shot twice in the face in an ambush shooting.
Sergeant Tom Lake was shot November 20th sitting at a stoplight in his police vehicle. He was on the phone with his dad when it happened.
I was on patrol towards the end of my shift. It was a Sunday evening, November 20th, and it was a quiet, cold November night. I had come off a radio assignment that was pretty intense, and I wanted to drive one more time through my neighborhood to make sure that cars weren't being broken into, that there weren't people walking around that weren't supposed to be. I stopped at a stoplight. I had called my father to talk to him about some stuff in the family that was going on, and while I was sitting at the stoplight, I noticed a car driving up very quickly behind me in the turn lane. When I realized the car was coming, my body kind of started panicking, telling me it was time to get out. It made me take such notice that I actually told my dad to hold on for a second, like stop the conversation with him. And as the car pulls up to about my location, the car slams on its brakes. The front end of the car takes a nosedive down, and then his rear passenger side window is about even with my side view mirror for the police car. Just sitting there in a marked police car, full uniform, and I see the window roll down. So I take my eyes off of him for a split second and to look for the window button, and as I do, I look right back up. I see the butt of the pistol coming up over the back seat, and by the time I realized what was going on, I had already been shot. I remember seeing the muzzle flash because I was looking almost dead at him, and when it hit my face, it hit me right here. Everything went blank. I thought for sure I was dead, and it's funny how you don't want to come to terms with that being the reality, but I also didn't believe, or did not want to believe, that I had been shot.
A couple weeks before you were shot in the city of St. Louis, Missouri elected a new governor, Eric Greitens. Tell me a little.
How did I meet Eric Greitens? Well, it was a little bit of a blur for me. While I was in the hospital being treated, at the time, my captain came in and he introduced me to Eric Greitens. And he said, "Hey Tom, I want you to meet Eric Greitens." Well, I knew the name, it just didn't register with me. And I remember him coming in and he shakes my hand and he looks me dead in the eye and he says, "Tom, whatever you need, we're here for you. We thank you for what you've given us and we pray for your recovery." And I don't even remember answering him for that. And then guess what? A week later, he calls back. And it started becoming commonplace. And here I am. I'm just a lonely old St. Louis citizen. I pay my taxes, I go to work, and I try to stay under the radar. I have the governor of the state of Missouri calling me, checking on me. I want to tell everybody how much of a regular person Eric Greitens is. Take the cameras away, take all the politic nonsense out of it, take out the fact that he's trying to get truth and all that stuff. About 6 months after my shooting, I got a phone call and it was Eric, and he says, "Hey, are you at home?" And I said, "Yeah, I am at home." And he says, "Do you mind if I come by and see you?" I said, "Sure, come on by." And he comes by, and at the time he's the governor, and he pulls up with a bunch of highway patrolmen and his staffs with him, and they come in the door, and the first thing he does when he sees me is he just gives me a hug. And he says, "It is so good to see you. You look great." And to me, that meant more to me than anything else, and I'll tell you why. It's like seeing an old friend that you haven't seen for a long time, and you just kind of reconnect with them, and they give you this big, huge hug, and you realize that everything in your life, no matter how screwed up it is going to be okay. Because the person that you didn't know you were missing, you actually missed. I believe law enforcement see him as a champion. To use a word that's been used around him, he's a champion of law enforcement. Because the one thing that most policemen know, and I've told every policeman that I know, is that he's a man of conviction and a man of his word. You know, St. Louis got rough, he came to St. Louis. Kansas City had issues, he went to Kansas City, he went to Springfield, he went all over the state in support of policemen. And Eric is a combat veteran. You know, Eric came out and did law enforcement ride-alongs. He watched firsthand during the riots in downtown during the Stockley stuff. He was there, boots on the ground, in the command center, watching decisions being made and asking the questions of, hey, should we do this? Should we not do this? Why are we doing this? Why are we not doing that? And I don't believe that any other politician in the state of Missouri was in the command center when the verdict came out. My name is Tom Lake. I'm a retired police officer from St. Louis City, and I support Eric Greitens for U.S. Senate.